Hi there, welcome to episode 130 of the Woolwork podcast. This is not going to be a regular kind of podcast, I guess, because I wanted to put this out before the end of this month, March, because on the 31st of March 2021, the classic version of Ravelry will disappear. And after 12 years, 163 projects that I logged on there, 708 favourites, 549 library patterns, 312 friends, 3,776 posts, and countless insurmountable to encapsulate good encounters and delightful times, and countless insurmountable pattern searches and yarn searches and database searches. I have to say cheerio to Ravelry. Those statistics might be a drop in the ocean compared to some people's use and stats on the site, but let me tell you, for most of that time I have felt like I was part of a welcoming, diverse, inclusive community. A community that really wasn't like anything else I'd ever encountered. And then one day, after so many years of feeling welcomed in, so many of us were made to feel unsafe and very much unwelcome. If you're listening to this and you don't know what I'm talking about, and you're thinking, what is she actually going on about? This doesn't sound like Ravelry. Then I would urge you really right now just to pause this and go and look at the hashtag Ravelry accessibility on social media. And there are quite a lot of blog posts and podcasts too. But if you Google, Liz Cork has a very well written account of things on her blog, www.lizcork.com. There are lots of experiences out there that you should try and understand. The visual and neurological issues recorded by users is serious. The uncaring attitude of the team behind the site is in shocking opposition to how they've made themselves appear in these last, well over a decade. It's serious. So much of the conversation about that website over the last few months has been about these issues. People have called in the community and designers and yarn businesses who use the site to do something, say something, advocate for all of us who are now standing on the other side of that welcome in sign. Many of the people who have been trying to advocate are the users who are affected and small businesses and smaller scale designers. And there has been a deafening silence from more of the well-known designers and businesses. And there are a lot of users who claim they don't know what these issues are and how they're being experienced. If you care about the crafting community, if you have been vocal in standing up for people's rights in other ways, but silent on this, think about that for a minute. People who also felt part of that community that you feel part of now can't spend time on that site, can't access the patterns, can't chat in the forums, because doing so is unsafe for their health. really, 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 really try and think about that. Put yourself in that position. I have downloaded all my patterns and my stash. However, I can't take all of those communications, all of those connections, all of those comments, forum posts, all of those impossible to explain wonderful things about being part of a community. I can't take that with me. And that is a hard take. In the time that I've been a knitter and a member of that site, I have learned so much. I then started a blog and then a podcast, and then the site became a second home base. And there was community from my podcast in that space. And we chatted and we were like-minded and we grew and we knitted together. We grew together, we knitted together some more. I'm so sorry that now I can't be part of that space. I can't tell you how hard it's been not to be able to participate with my own group on that site. How many times I've wanted to run over with a bit of news or a link to something or just to have a read. It's absolutely unfathomable, really, that that's going to be lost. We can still find each other, and we're still here. You're still here, I'm still talking. But that was a special place. That was a special part of this community. Think of all the times I've said hi to the new kids in the Ravelry group. Think of all the cals we've had. The Hap-along last year, it was 5 years ago since the first Hap-along. And that would never have happened without Ravelry. That would never have happened without the Ravelry group. And that, how many, 6,000 posts in that thread. And how a few years ago at Shetland Wool Week I gave a talk about haps, and people who were in the audience at that talk in Shetland, who had met in that group, who became friends because of that knit along and met in real life. And again, the silence is deafening from the team, and the silence is deafening from designers and yarn businesses who have also grown their communities and their audiences on Ravelry, who can't now speak up and support the people in their community who are affected by this. And you know who you are. You know who you are. And you know who they are. Let's not piss about here. Big names, big designers, big pals of the Ravelry team probably too. Where are they? Where are they? They're not here for me and they're not here for you. So, one thing that these changes have made me think about is who I will support in my making from now on. There's a lot of things I've made that have gone to the charity shop since the silence has deafened from those designers. I won't support you in my making anymore if you can't support me. It's just so upsetting. So upsetting. And again, if you're listening to this and you aren't affected, if you haven't had a migraine because of the website, if you haven't had an eye strain, if you haven't had a seizure, these are things that are affecting people now who can't use Ravelry because the new website has these effects. I can't go on that website without immediately feeling a pull behind my eyeballs. That's how quickly and how damaging it can be. And then very quickly a headache and then triggering a migraine. And like, that's the tip of the iceberg. There are people who have had seizures. I am working on creating a space off that site to try and recreate a discussion group type setting. And thank you to those of you who have come and made suggestions. I really appreciate that. This is something that takes a bit of thought because there are lots of things to consider, including data and your data and security. And, I don't want to host a Mighty Networks group. I don't want to create something that looks like Facebook. And so many of you have told me that you're not into that kind of thing. And, one of the things that you love most about the group is that it's a forum. So I am working on it, and keep your ear to the podcast and your eye on the website for some information on that when it's ready to be released. And side note, you can sign up to get posts into your inbox if you go to woolwork.net, and in the right hand sidebar you'll find the subscribe to the blog by email, which means you'll get posts straight to your email. It's so difficult to comprehend that I'll no longer be able to use Ravelry. And there has been talk recently on social media that they're going to introduce a dark mode. That is only part of the solution. For many people, it's very difficult to comprehend sites that are in dark mode. But to be honest, without any kind of satisfactory explanation and apology, I wouldn't be lured back by a dark mode now. It's really hard to comprehend. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm just so sad. And the whole time that I was writing this, thinking about recording this, I kept hearing that song, Gentle on My Mind. And I keep thinking about all of the connections with people that I've had. All of the fantastic times in that group. All of the fantastic times on other groups and other forums. All of the messages and things. Those will stay with me for a very long time. I'm so grateful to everybody that I've ever encountered on Ravelry. I'm so grateful to know you and to have you in this community and to have met you at shows. Always grateful for that. I'm so sad that this change has come with so little thought towards that community that they've created. I need to stop crying because sniffing on a podcast is a very, very bad thing. You think that sniff sounds disgusting, wait till you hear it in your headphones. It's Louise Hunt that told me that. Another great friendship I have because of Ravelry. I don't know how to end this. I don't know what to say other than if you can use Ravelry, then, continue to use that group. But it will no longer be moderated by me and, the amazing Mazzy, who's been a fantastic moderator these last few years. I've been so grateful, that she's been keeping you updated in the Ravelry group with new podcast episodes and things like that. But I will ask her to not do that anymore because it's got to stop. If, we can't use it safely, then I shouldn't be encouraging use of it at all. I will continue to work on finding another space for us. I hope that you will continue to follow the podcast at woolwork.net or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'll continue to wish that Ravelry will have a change of heart and apologise for all of this, but from the 31st of March, I'll have to delete it from my browser and that'll be that. But I'm not deleting you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that you've been here. Although Ravelry will have gone, I will keep you in the back roads and the rivers of my memory and keep you gentle on my mind. And while I just hate them for what they're doing, I can't help but be grateful because it led us round here. So that is the end of that. I'll be back with another episode next month. I hope you're all well. If you're not well, I hope you've got someone to look after you. And if you've not got someone to look after you, I hope you've got someone to talk to. Until next time, take good care. Bye for now.
Good night, Kathy. See you tomorrow.
Good night, darling. Take care of that throat. You're a big singing star now, remember? This California dew is just a little heavier than usual tonight.
Really? From where I stand, the sun is shining all over the place. Don't you remember I told you there's a microphone right there in the bush? You have to talk into it. Now you talk towards it. The sound goes through the cable to the box. A man records it on a big record in wax. But you have to talk into the mic first.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling.